Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are in the midst of a precarious situation as the war with the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom is about to kick off. But I do have one more mandate available in my power block, and it's going into Advanced Research 2. This is going to get us towards Advanced Research 3, which is going to be important. It's also going to reduce the bureaucracy cost of education, which is very important because we're very close to having level 3 on that. We've got significantly reduced bureaucracy costs now. Oh, right, because of the whole Heavenly Kingdom business. That's okay. So let's get this war started. We are. Force comparison looks rock solid here. We are winning. At least some of these battles. This one's not much of a success. This one is not much of a success either. Seems a little difficult. What about on the northern front with the Russians? We are winning here in Tuva, and we're winning over here in Chita as well. So hopefully that'll continue. Naval invasion's happening in Korea, which I'm not super duper pleased about. I'm going to pull one coastal army there to defend against that, so we don't wind up with a giant headache there. Let's send the Bohai Gulf Fleet and the Guangdong Fleet to shoot at our enemies. Zollverein becomes the Universal League. Scandinavia succeeded in a power struggle with Prussia to become the new power block leader of the Universal League. That's wild. Scandinavia stole Prussia's power block. That's incredible. 10 out of 10. I'm so pleased. Alright, winning that battle there. Losing this battle here. Unfortunate. This isn't going to be a cakewalk, friends. We will prevail in the long run, but it's going to take some time. Force comparison here is worse than this. This front is bad. I think we're going to need to throw more conscripts in our field armies. Simply is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. We'll do the same with the plain blue banner army. Try to keep our force increasing in size so that our force comparisons get better. We do have a good amount of occupation here in Jiangxi and a little bit in Guangxi. Not making any progress in Western Guangdong. Oh, this battle's a success, though. So hopefully we'll be able to make that happen. Our allies are continuing to visit the area. We'll move this fleet here, because this is where the naval invasions are coming in. Making steady progress on the Russian front as well. Taiping Heavenly Kingdom is continuing to fall in war support. We're not holding their capital, though, which is part of the issue. We'll see how it goes as we make progress here in their capital state. The Imperial Circle has been formed by the South German Federation, so that's your fella's Min mass immigration. That's your fella's formerly Bavaria, now the South German Federation. Trade agreement with Prussia, eh? An anti-Prussia association, it'll be fine. Yeah, those guys will be salty, whatever. Cash flow's doing a little better. But obviously that's because part of our construction capacity is in the freaking Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. Floating harbor unlocked. Beautiful. Let's see if we can take out this this Russian fleet here. And I have war support protection on this, right? Yes, I certainly do. They've gotten, yeah. Russia and Spain put some freaking stupid war goals in here, giving me war support protection, which is quite nice. Actually, we're making very good progress to holding Western Guangdong, which I'm quite pleased about. This force comparison is looking a lot better. So hopefully we'll get the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom straight out of this. Hey! Dedicated police force. Wonderful. We're going to see what that does to our bureaucratic capacity as time goes on. But for now, I'm actually feeling pretty good. Everyone's pleased. Everyone's very pleased and happy with the situation. Let's go to a presidential republic. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to I'm not going to kick off another revolution when I've only just established a democracy. I do have... I have made significant progress on the Russian front. That battle's going to be a loss, but I've got a hold of Buryatia. So that's pretty good. Anti-Spanish League offers an opportunity. The Anti-Spanish League has offered us an opportunity to provide military assistance to Venezuela. Their proposal, if accepted, is intended to counter Spanish interests. It was a veiled sort of direction, one which could in theory appeal to both ardent jingoists and those who prefer to mitigate losses. It would force the enemy to respond, possibly drive them towards reckless confrontation in response to a seemingly benign maneuver. A plan to fight Spain to the last Venezuelan, one minister remarked. A representative flushed. He had practiced responses along both lines, but none of them quite fit. We would be happy to pursue this as lobby opportunity, or this is not in our interest. This is not in our interest. I want to provide military assistance to another country in the middle of a war. It's going to cost too much. Mongol mass immigration. Oh, man. Modernization movement. Organizers affiliated with the modernization movement have embarked on a focused campaign to inspire support for interventionism in southern Manchuria. Residents of every region in the world like to say that their home has a long and unique history of tight-knit community. The organizer almost agreed. The problem, of course, was that said community did not often extend to outsiders. He had been thrown out in his ear more times than he could count, but he persisted nonetheless. If he could introduce the right phrase into the right circles, perhaps even an idea that had been rejected out of hand at first, would begin to find purchase. There are plenty of willing ears in southern Manchuria, or they must be concerned with far more grounded things. I'm going to go with there are plenty of willing ears, as I always do. Modernization movement is a good movement to have strong. They're not very active right now, but, you know, hopefully they'll be, sort themselves out eventually. Oh, I think the, no, reactionary, this is something else. I'm going to suppress this reactionary movement, because I'm going to want a presidential republic. Now, I've taken the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom's capital. They've lost their war support protection, so I should be able to propose a peace deal pretty soon. Well, once they bail, once they surrender, that might be the end of the war. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Trade routes removed. Interesting. Macron improving relations. Cool. They're not out of the fight yet, because we don't have complete occupation of the country, but we're very much getting there. Force comparison is rock solid here. And let me see. There's a front over here in Lanfang, which is interesting. I didn't think that would be the case. I'll send an army there to deal with that. And what do we have? A good vintage. The wine produced in Shanxi has been lauded by sommeliers as outstanding. When people say that something ages like wine, they don't always make the distinction between wine and wine. So let me make that distinction. If you can get your hands on a bottle from Shanxi, that bottle can be more than just a good time. It can be an investment. Make this an exclusive product for export, 5% prestige, or increase production to meet booming demands, 50% wine building throughput. I'm going to take the first one, as I always do. I never end up in a situation where I don't have enough wine. An exile at the gates. The relatively lenient Qing immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Recently, Norbu Rinpoche has petitioned to join the stream people moving to Great Qing. Sea King. It might be Norbu Rinpoche. Not sure. He's a pacifist, so he likes national militia. It was one name on a very, very long list, one that had passed through multiple layers of bureaucracy before being noticed. One fateful day, however, one clerk at the end of his shift pointed the name and spoke those fatal words. I could swear I've heard of him before. Eventually he too will be Qing, he joins the country, or we will not have someone like this regardless of precedent. Industrialists, mad. still got a slot, right? I do. Alright. That's fine. If I can get, Sri Lanka improving relations. Oh. Are you? No, you're still British. Sad. I'm losing a bunch of trade routes here. Not quite sure what to do about that. Baroda signs within a door. Okay, interesting. I've almost completely got them. I'm going to take a risk and move off one of my larger armies to the Russian front so that I can make sure that force there stays good. New neighbors, new grudges. Oh. A minority group of Min people has settled in the state of Shenjing, seeking a better future. However, the local Han elites are stirring up resentment, claiming that the Min newcomers will destroy the traditional way of life. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. Min people have been in China this whole time. They don't belong here. Our Han customs, our way of life, they'll be lost if we let the Min settle, claimed a prominent landowner. His words echoed in the taverns and markets of Mukden. The newcomers, hopeful but weary, whisper of opportunities but face closed doors and hostile stares. The Min people must accept their lot, reduced acceptance by 25% of Min pops become more radical in Shenjing. 20% of Manchu and Han pops become more loyalist. Shenjing. Where is Shenjing? Here. What's population balance look like? Han and Manchu 90%, 10% others, including about 10,000 Min people. It's a lot of loyalists, I gotta say. We must foster harmony between the peoples, whether Min or Han. Mix of options, but 5% of pops in the whole state become more radical, or the Han ways cannot continue to dominate our modern nation. Acceptance improves by 20. What's acceptance for Min pops at right now? 80 from sharing heritage cultural traits and a non-heritage trait, Han Chinese, the primary culture. Okay, so they're at 80%. But going from second-class citizenship to full acceptance doesn't actually change all that much. And again, let's just roll the dice here. We'll do the middle one. And that's not appear to have changed yet. We'll see what happens. Force comparison here is still excellent. And that's the end of that. So stonks. Okay, so with that having been completed, first we got a problematic police officer. Police officers in uniform have been discovered supporting the Qing American League activity while on duty, lowering public confidence in the police force. As long as everyone's discreet, there's no harm. A resident of Guizhou comments on members of the police force patrol that walk by in pristine uniforms with a hint of arrogance in their gait. Disdain drips from the onlooker's voice. These officers certainly think highly of themselves. They carry out errands for the Qing American League and accept their gifts. They ignore their duty to the people of Guizhou. As long as everyone is discreet, there's no harm. 5% of pops in Guizhou become more radical. Qing relations towards the United States improve. Or, we need to restore the public's confidence. 5% of pops in Guizhou become more loyal. Appeasement of the Qing American League -1. I'm going to go with the second one. That's going to be much better. Alright, the fall of heaven. The Heavenly Kingdom has been defeated. We must decide how to handle the aftermath of the rebellion. Supporters of the cult are still active and may still cause trouble for us in the future. The supposed brother of Christ has been beheaded and burned. His ashes have been fired from a cannon. He will find no eternal rest, for he has disgraced our nation. He has been destroyed utterly, as will be the fate of all who oppose us. Massacre the remaining heathens, deteriorates relationships with a bunch of countries and gives us 42 infamy, or show mercy and offer pardons to the former rebels. 20% of pops in Great Qing of Protestant pops become more loyalist. Massacre the remaining heathens. 10% of all non-Confucian pops will convert to Confucian. This just seems to be a giant penalty to relations for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Like converting pops, that's just not useful. Show mercy and offer pardons. We'll get those loyalists, and that'll be good. Hopefully that'll change the balance of loyalists and whatnot. Did a little bit. Alright, hold on. Why are you guys all going to the Lanfang front? You don't need to be there. Peace deal. White peace. I accept, because this isn't my, there's nothing else to wage war about. Yeah. I don't know how Philippines became the war leader, but it did. Alright, so that's the end of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. I'm very short on influence. Let's see who I can rival. Only the Ottomans. Oh, interesting. Alright, so I need to... So this is giving me a problem. It's giving me a prestige penalty. What are some relationships I can dispense with? I do need to improve relations with Siam still. I don't need to embargo Russia anymore. Oh wait, no, they're embargoing me. It was the other way around. Trade agreements. I don't think I need a trade agreement with these groups. I got a bunch of vassals, mutual investment agreements. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, can't end this for another 6 months. You know, with Canada... No, I do want to keep my defensive pact with Canada. So Prussia, let's close out our investment agreement. I'll also close out the trade agreement eventually, but not now, because I can't do it right now. Alright, standard of living has fallen somewhat, but should increase further as things in the country normalize. Now... Presidential republic would be really nice, but I don't necessarily need to. I've still got a, this guy's a scholar officials guy, but his heir apparent will likely align with the, petite bourgeoisie. What else do I want to do laws-wise? Could go to per capita taxation, that would be good. Could go to proportional. That would spike my standard of living, which would also be nice, but it might slow down economic growth. Child labor is currently allowed. I could go to compulsory primary school. The only people who would like this are the trade unions, who kind of remain marginalized in a way that I was hoping they would not, but, you know, that is what it is. What else can I really do? There's not much, other than tax reform. And, of course, the Presidential Republic. So this would increase the militancy of the Royalist and Reactionary movement. Royalist movement is at 0%, Reactionary movement's at 28%. But would only put the Reactionary movement at high. But obviously it would make all of these interest groups really, really salty. Particularly... Hold on, who would it affect? Once again, who would it affect? Scholar officials would be very mad, but they're quite weak. The rural folk and the Confucian scholars. Confucian scholars could bail out of the government. We'll see. We'll see what they do. I think they'll most likely stop things up, but I've got a pretty good ability to press forward here, so... I think I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. And we'll see how it goes. The literati are around in the government, right? They're not. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try to make Sun Yat-Sen president of the Republic of China. We'll see what happens. Ooh, no journal entry active. Stamp out monarchism. That's going to be good. And so a lot of people are mad. Large stall chance, but large success chance as well. some advanced chance. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. We'll suppress the royalist movement as well. They're going to go up towards... Okay, they're going to go to militants. They're going to go to 100%. So, this could lead to a revolution. But we'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll bail out on this. I don't know. If I can get there fast enough, it won't. If I can keep this royalist movement down, it could even. Because I'm not going to fight a civil war over this. At least not right now. There's definitely opportunities for that later. Because I do want to get a republic eventually, but it's not something that's, you know, crucial in the short term. Now, how is the power block going? Still pretty low. So unfortunately, I didn't get to have the war with Russia that I wanted to have, which is unfortunate. Because if I'd gotten to have that, I could have taken a bunch of territory and also, which wouldn't necessarily have been productive, but it would have been nice to be able to take a bunch of territory and turn them, and hopefully get a bunch of recognition progress. I'm currently at net 0 recognition progress, so if I can keep getting those embassies, we'll be good to go. I can't hit up France for an embassy yet. What about Canada? No. Dang. No one wants to give me an embassy. Scandinavia doesn't, and they're great friends with me, too. Prussia, I gotta break our trade agreement. Oh, I can't do that until March. Well, it is what it is. This is a shame. I don't know how well that that thing with enforcing war goals works. The fragile unity is... Okay, no, it's at 4 out of 5. So we beat the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. We need to beat the Boxer Rebellion. Again, I don't know how that one works. Oh. We need to get political agitation. Well, that's a pretty freaking far down the tech tree tech. Political agitation's way over here. That's gonna be forever. It sucks. Alright, well, it is what it is. Rebellion in Korea. Oh, you need to mobilize armies before you can send them to a front. Ridiculous. Despicable neutrality. Republic agitation that Xu Fan is inspired against presidential republic has led the armed forces to refuse to support the law in its current state. We regret to inform you that our mind is set on this matter. It is clear that popular support is viciously against the law in its current form. We have no interest in siding with the proposal. It's been demonstrated to be toxic in totality. Amend the law to make it more palatable to support. Armed forces happier, extra enactment chance, extra enactment time, or make it clear to the armed forces that they are unnecessary, they get weaker and unhappy. I'm going to amend it for extra enactment time. Or extra enactment chance, rather. This gets me where I want to go. 18th Qing army is way off somewhere. I gotta fix up our armies. Royalist movement is still increasing in strength. If they get to the point where they're revolutionary, unless I'm in a really good spot, I might pull them out of there. Okay, first field army. It's still way up on infantry. 17. Okay, so 17th Qing army is where all those extra infantry went. So I think this force goes in 5th field army, I think. Bunch of units have wound up here. They're regular infantry. Hold on. First, upgrade all units. We'll give that a minute, and then we'll fix up the armies. So 18th Qing Army goes in, I think, 1st Field Army. Yeah, I think that's where they go. Got a 3rd fleet that's going to go in the Bohai Gulf fleet, I think. Oh no, I think they go in the Guangdong fleet. Missionaries arrested in western Guangdong. Local authorities in western Guangdong have arrested several Hamburgian Protestant missionaries for inducing conflicts with the locals. They have requested guidance on how the foreigners are to be treated. You know I'm gonna they'll be treated like any other criminals. That's just what I always do. Everything's going over here. They're going fine. 17th Qing Army is forces from a bunch of different armies, really. I think they're going into 5th Field Army. Because the 5th Field Army is the big one. Alright, so we'll see what that does to the 5th Field Army. Okay, yes, so now they're back in. There's the Socialist Revolts in Korea popping off. It's May, so I can dissolve my trade agreement with Prussia. Puts me at a better place for prestige. Ooh, I need to put an army over there. Didn't even realize there was another thing going on in Chitral. Her. Oh, I'm so handsome and good at video games. Now, 5th Field Army is low on organization. Alright, that's fine. 1st Field Army is the same. Alright. So the movement has become revolutionary. Maybe I'll risk it for the biscuit. This might be a giant revolution if it works, although it doesn't look like it'll be a whole lot of territory. It doesn't look like it'll be a whole lot of territory. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I think I can get there. I'm at 50% enactment chance. I might be able to get there, so I'm gonna try and get there. We'll see if we can make Sun Yat-Sen's dream a reality right now. I can't get involved in the hedge during this. Also, because this is not actually that big of a revolution yet. Looks like it's all the usual suspects. So we'll see if we can get there. Laws are going not as fast as I would like, but you know, reasonably fast. All right, we are occupied. That's Korea situation sorted out. And this is moving at a brisk pace because the government is highly legitimate right now. Actually not as legitimate as it could be because the Confucian scholars bailed out of the group. If I move the literati in, that'll make them less legitimate. But I can get up there by... Weird, I thought that was what I was doing. Let's do it. That'll make enactment go even faster. I reduced enactment chance somehow. Did I kick someone out who wanted it? No. That's quite curious. I'm not exactly sure how that happened. Perhaps I booted out the armed forces. Well, that's okay. These things happen. 15%. The rebels' doctor. A doctor in northern Anhui has been caught aiding wounded dissidents and revolutionaries. His aid isn't just helping his patients, but it's emboldening the entire rebel movement. The doctor's defense attorney leaned back, nursing a small headache. The medical man had proven impossible to work with. His attempts at defense had just dug a deeper hole for himself. His waffling was painful. His refusal to treat his council or even his kinfolk had ruined his chance of getting a lighter sentence. His refusal to trust his council or even his kinfolk had ruined his chances of getting a lighter sentence. His persistent denials had served to only make his name mud. Investigate the medical profession in northern Anhui for sympathizers. Reduce civil war progress. 20% of academics there become more radical. Or this doctor was obviously a lone wolf. There's no need to follow up on this. 2% of academics in the whole country become more radical. We'll target northern Anhui. It's certainly not more than 10% of the academics in the whole country. I dropped civil war progress down to 10%, which is good. Come on, give me presidential republic. What the heck? Sun Yat-Sen die or some shit? Sun Yat-Sen retired. Oh my god, you gotta be shitting me. I'm furious. Sun Yat-Sen was in his 30s and he retired. His work half finished. Oh my gosh. Thrown the book, employed by the rural folk backfired, with a backbencher taking the fall for a power brokering ring. Opponents of the law, inspired by Zhu Fang's tactics, have called for immediate censure, halting the debate on presidential republic. This deplorable state of affairs is beyond the dignity of this body. A censure must be called on this gangrenous blemish on our honor, or we will all suffer the consequences. Join the censure motion and pass it quickly. Rural folk become weaker, reduce enactment chance. Stronger Confucian scholars and industrialists, or find some skeletons in the Confucian scholars closet. Reduce enactment chance. Weaker Confucian scholars. You know what? Screw you guys. Alright, anyway, I am gonna put this to bed because I had no idea that I was that Sun Yat-Sen was just going to completely bail out. That's pretty freaking ridiculous. Well, anyway, path to liberalism completed. That's curious. Against the odds, despite not enjoying full rights under Qing law, some wealthier Yuanzhu Min people have begun moving into neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. They fairly earned their success with all that entails. I'm mad at the petite bourgeoisie right now. Freedom, equality, and brotherhood. The literati, under the head of Ma Xingde, has ushered in an era of liberal politics that promises a freer society where all citizens have a part in the political process. You will find many ideologues who claim to represent the will of the people, but who silence its voice when it cries out in opposition to their policies. Not we. We will remove the people's shackles one by one until they are freed of the yoke of the past. Only then can we see what the will of the people truly is and let it shape our future. He's a fearless visionary. He gets extra popularity. Ma Xingde is the leader of the literati. That would make him kind of popular. Other political leaders would be wise to follow this trend. Yang Hu becomes radical. Near the trade unions, that doesn't help me at all. Or perhaps a voice of reason is needed. Ma Zhanshan should become a reformer. That's not good either. Alright, he's a fearless visionary, I guess. Sorry, I'm thoroughly basalted. Alright, let's deal with this thing in Chitral. And then I'll put a pin in it. Because I think these have gotten quite silly. Alright, so what are my political prospects at this time? We're in a righteous government. The Empire Reform Association is holding on to power. We're as legitimate as we can be. Imperial Clan Party coming in reduces legitimacy. Right, so the Confucian scholars bailing out turned the Imperial Clan Party, a patriotic party, into the military party into its own thing, and put the petite bourgeoisie into the literati. Alright, so that's weird. So a weird state of affairs has been achieved here in China, but hopefully we'll be able to move forward as time goes by. With that having been said, that is all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. Things have gotten very silly, but we're still making moderate progress towards Sun Yat-Sen's goal, and that's what's important. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I will see you on the other side.